This is Megan Leslie, and she's been a long-time supporter of the Muslim community. And this is yes, Christine. Yes, please come in, Christine. So here's the mic here, Megan.
Thank you.
So just before she starts, you will have ample time for questioning. So if you want to question her, she is going to give the 3 to 5 minute speech and then walk straight out here. There's refreshments. You can go out the wrong way, give a donation, inshallah, and then meet her outside.
Thank you, Ziad. I'm going to pull this out if I may. And can I tell you, I could hear some of what you were saying through the door, and you brought tears to my eyes. That was very powerful. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking me to speak with you today. It's an honor to be here. And as you know, there's an election going on. There's a federal election going on. And of course, it's good to hear from all of the candidates when it's election time. But I want to start off not by speaking to you as a candidate, but by speaking to you as a friend, as a neighbor, as someone from your community. I want to stand here and tell you and look you in the eye and say that I do not stand by the racist actions that we have seen from some Canadians, nor do I stand by the divisive approach that's being taken by our current government. I do not stand by those actions. I stand with you. This isn't the Canada I know. The things that I'm seeing in the news, the things that I'm hearing on the streets, this isn't the Canada that I know. And I want you all to know first and foremost that I am an ally. I stand beside you in the face of these attacks. I can't believe that the Conservatives are creating an imaginary crisis about women who are taking their oath of citizenship while wearing a niqab. It's an imaginary crisis that's fabricated to create division in our communities. I am a proud Canadian, I am a proud feminist, and I'm proud because I live in a country where I'm free. I'm free to say what I choose, I'm free to work as I choose, and I'm free to wear what I choose. And no one has the right to tell a woman what to wear. And you will never hear an NDP MP talk like this. You will also never hear an NDP MP use terms like bogus refugee or queue jumper when they're talking about the immigration and refugee process. I reject that kind of divisive language, and I see a Canada that throws its doors open, that welcomes refugees from Syria and from other countries. There has been terrible talk about Syrian refugees coming from countries of terror, therefore they might be terrorists, that we have to think about our security first. Well, I think we need to think about being humanitarians first. And refugees are not terrorists. They are the first victims of terror. Now, usually a politician will come in a room and give a speech that's a little friendlier, that's a little nicer. They would talk about positive things that are happening, but I am so angry. I am so angry that we have a government that is dividing us when we should be working together. I'm angry with a government that is stoking the fires of Islamophobia. So forgive me if I'm coming across a bit stern, but there is anger inside of me, and it makes me want to fight. It makes me want to fight against legislation like C-24 that can strip our citizens of their Canadian citizenship. A Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. And if a Canadian breaks the law, then yeah, they face our criminal justice system. But we don't take away their citizenship. An NDP government would repeal C-24, and we would never threaten to take away citizenship as punishment. That is cruel and unusual. And I am angry about Bill C-51. The shooting on Parliament Hill on October 22nd, that gave Stephen Harper a chance to take advantage of people's fear, to promote an ineffective and a dangerous piece of legislation. Everyone agrees that terrorism is a real threat, but we do not have to sacrifice our freedoms to stay safe. My party, I believe that we need responsible approaches to protecting our shared values and our shared freedoms while also protecting our safety. It's not a balance between the two. We can do both at the same time. This legislation, C-51, is dangerous. It gives police-like powers to our spy agency. Hundreds of experts have spoken out against it, including 4 former prime ministers, former Supreme Court justices. The Privacy Commissioner has spoken out against it, and human rights organizations like Amnesty International and more than 100 academics signed a letter condemning this piece of legislation. Well, the Conservatives brought in this bill, and the Liberals supported it. I'm proud to say that the NDP voted against it, and we promise that we will repeal this legislation. It is not worth it. It is not Canadian. So yeah, I am a little bit angry, and I won't apologize for it. I'm angry the same way that former NDP MP Alexa McDonough was angry about what our country did to Mayor. But she channeled that anger into fighting. She fought alongside his wife, Munya Mazig, to bring him back to Canada. We have that kind of tradition of taking that anger and channeling it into fighting and channeling it into a struggle to assert our rights. So now that I've gotten that off my chest, I'll tell you some other aspects of our tradition. We are the NDP, we are a social democratic party. We believe in a role for government in making our communities stronger. A good example is Medicare. That was an NDP idea. You go to the hospital and you don't have to pay a bill. You don't have to get out your credit card. That was an NDP vision that was made a reality. So those are the kind of positive visions that we would bring forward after this election. A vision for childcare, a vision for home care, a vision for pharmacare. We'll have a chance to talk later, and I hope you ask me questions about what our positive vision is. In this election, we want to see a different kind of Canada on October 20th, the day after the election. Thank you for allowing me this time. I stand here full of gratitude. And thank you for doing what you do in this community and for everything that you bring to our community.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Megan. So Megan will be outside there. Megan has always supported us. We bombard her office with problems, with police profiling, and she's had enough, but she's very, very kind, and always she listens and always she comes through. So Megan, it is for this riding, and then any other NDP that you get, please go to our website, know how to vote, inshallah, and get your stuff ready and make it count. Thank you very much, Megan. Thank you. God bless you. Okay, yes, see you out there.